Alright, welcome back everyone to another video of 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. And with the new patch notes last night that came live, we all know that level 80 is going to now be coming to the game. So we gotta talk about some of the top 5 units to limit break to level 80. And before I go on, this is just my personal opinion. Everyone's box is a little bit different, so take this with a grain of salt, but I try to give some good reasons why I chose these 5. So let's start by unit number 5. So unit number 5, I'm gonna have to go with Red Hauser, and the reason why I'm going with Red Hauser is because he's a farming god. Okay, we know farming is very prevalent in this game, and how fast you can go through all those stages to gain all the materials you need to awaken units or to make them stronger, or for the Fault Solgaris event that just happened this past weekend, that basically means more resources for you to progress in the game. And another reason why I think this unit should be in your consideration to promote to level 80 is that he's also a ridiculous cleave for the mono red team. So if you don't know the mono red team, it's a very popular PvP team at the moment, where it consists of Hauser, Gowther, Arthur, and maybe Red Twigo in the back. And all those synergistic effects, their unique abilities, make Hauser just that much stronger. So you got all that HP buff, making them really strong. We got Arthur's gold buff, and that will just make his cleave ridiculously. So some of the cons about Hauser is that to get the best results with him, you have to use a Pierce gear set, because his first card, Rising Storm, it inflicts Pierce damage equal to 100% of attack on all enemies, and then it just increases its percentage as you go from rank 1 to 2 to 3. So that's one of the cons, and you should take into account when you are deciding to rank this unit up to level 80. So to see it really shine, you have to make sure you have a Pierce gear set as well. So with that being said, let's go to number 4 and his best friend, Red Arthur. And the reason why I'm putting Red Arthur as number 4 is that his rank 3 buff is absolutely amazing. So his rank 3 buff, if you don't know, it removes debuffs from all allies and increases basic stats by 30% and grants debuff immunity for 3 turns. So this basically removes any debuffs you have, is going to increase your attack, health, and defense by 30%, and also debuff immunity. So getting petrified by annoying Kingbrim teams, not going to happen, not going to work. Attack disabled by a Red Gowther, not going to work, okay? And he's also a red unit, so talking about Hauser right before also being a member of the mono red team, absolutely amazing synergy between the two. So also he has excellent unique, so his passive for the human team, as you can see here at the bottom, it's called Charisma. So it increases HP related stats of human allies by 15%. So as I mentioned before, this is just going to make your whole human team a lot more tankier. So you're going to have ridiculous amount of HP. So it's going to be very annoying for anyone trying to basically burst down and try to kill you, as in the Arthur or even Hauser as well. So some of the cons about this unit though is if it's not an optimized team, it can be a little bit lukewarm in how you see Red Arthur. And what I mean is he really shines with these mono red teams, or with some as a support, and I would say for human team. So another very popular human is Escanor, of course. So his passive would be really beneficial to Escanor, and could really lay down some damage. But his rank 3 buff is just absolutely amazing. And another pro is that we all know that Red Escanor is going to be coming out soon. So being a red, this could be very for future-proofing your team, because the Red Escanor is going to pair very nice with this Red Arthur. So I'll let you start thinking about that. But some of the cons about Red Arthur is that it's a big gamble in some cases if you don't get that gold buff. So if if the premise of you playing in a PvP team, for example, is getting that gold buff immediately, say with the Gowther, to do the rank ups, and you don't get it, well, you're SOL. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. But he can definitely attack. He's pretty strong. His first move can disable recovery skill, so that basically just nullifies King's cleanse effects. And also his ultimate's pretty good too, actually. So something to keep in mind. Now, moving on to number 3 is good old Blue King. So we got this as a free unit at the beginning of the game, or pretty early in the game. And one of the reasons why you should consider limit breaking him to level 80 is his top tier longevity. And what I mean is, if you go to the JP side, you can see Blue King is still top tier. He can be used for a variety of things, and such as PvP or PvE, but you kind of see him a lot in PvP teams because he can just do so much. So if you look at it, he can cleanse, so he can remove debuffs, and he can also heal once you get to rank 2 on his healing card. And Petrify, how great is that to just fully lock down one unit, can't do anything. So absolutely amazing. And his AoE just is one of the strongest AoEs, attacks everyone, ignores defense, so that's the Shatter, and just an absolutely great unit. So some of the cons though, he's not necessarily the best attacker if that's what you're looking for. He's pretty much like a jack of all trades. He can improve the durability of your team, being able to remove debuffs, heal, once again, Petrify, stop the team, pretty much a good crowd control, and then once all that is being built up, he can just try to wipe out the whole enemy team in one shot. And of course this only gets stronger with how many more dupes you can get of him, and just playing this game over time, you're definitely going to get the dupes. So some other key points may be interesting to you if you want to run a full fairy team. So he does increase all fairies basic stats by 8%, so that will be Helbram and also Elaine, so something to consider if you're all about that. And now we're going to number 2 is good old Green Escanor. And I don't really need to tell you some of the pros of Green Escanor, and some of you may think he should be number 1. Hey, he's pretty damn strong. But yeah, some of the pros, he can be used pretty much everywhere. PvE, he'll go through and knock out everybody in sight. PvP, you see him, you better make sure you destroy this bad boy before he gets his ultimate, because no one really lives through his ultimate, and if it does, that better be a beefy red team. So that better be like a Hauser with a lot of HP and all the synergies from Red Arthur and everything, and maybe Red Twigo, you know? So yeah, as I mentioned, some of his pros, his ultimate attack, the amount of attack he just dishes out on the enemies, he's definitely a wrecking ball. So, and also for future proofing, so he's a candidate for the upcoming pen team. So what I mean is the penetration, the Pierce team that we've all been hearing about with Blue Lilia, Blue Demon, Meliodas. He's also a viable frontline member as that third party with a really high pierce rate percentage. So if you don't know pen team, everything's just based off of their pierce rate. So the higher their pierce rate, that thing is just gonna go cut through, no problem. So with that being said, drum roll please. I think everyone may already know who will be number 1, but if you didn't know, it's definitely Red Gowther. So okay, that train is annoying in the background, but we're gonna keep on going. If you didn't hear that, I'm just a crazy person, but let's go. Red Gowther, why you should definitely be ranking him up to level 80? Well, that's because he's excellent in PvE. He's pretty much excellent in every single facet of this game. PvE, PvP, Knighthood boss, and that's because of his rank up cards and attack disable. But mostly people use him for that rank up ability. Being able to rank up everyone's cards to the silver or to the gold level is just absolutely ridiculous. And in PvP, hey, if your enemy doesn't have a king to cleanse and remove the attack disable, you can totally just shut down the majority of your opponent's cards. So it gives you another turn to basically build up your ult gauges, combine cards and just go all in the next turn. And honestly, I've had a very difficult time trying to think of some cons about Red Gowther. And if there might be one, if you didn't get him, well, yeah, that just sucks for you, because honestly, Gowther is absolutely amazing and you should definitely try to get him from the coin shop. That being said, hope everyone enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please consider giving it a like, maybe subscribe. It would really help me out. Have a good one. Catch you in the next one. Peace.